right, folks, so let's go over how to use trailing stops. I'm now recording this. Let me shut my doors so I don't get any. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me grab something from the fridge. Yes, I'm grabbing something from the fridge while I'm recording. All right, so in this video, we're going to discuss trailing stops, stops in general. Now, before I go into trailing stops, I do want to emphasize one thing that's important. If you're going to use trailing stops, do not use them as the trigger of why you're getting out of a trade. Let me repeat that. If you're going to use trailing stops, do not use them as the reason why you're getting out of a trade. You use them to protect you in case there's a sudden change in the market, like just what happened only a few minutes ago, or you walk away from your desk. You know you're not going to be able to monitor it closely. You put the trailing stop in just to make sure that if things change and in the profitable sense, then at least you're going to get some profit out of it. So you want to focus on what the market is doing for your position, and when it looks like things have reached their end, you want to exit yourself. Again, the stop loss is just there to prevent things from going too far against you, because a lot of times markets change so fast. So if that happens, no problem. But otherwise, if you're getting to a profit target, you know it, you should already be looking to get out or adjust your position there. Okay, having said that, if we want to use a trailing stop, which makes perfect sense, here's how you do it. First things first, we're going to go to the main TrueEdge window, this one right here. It says TrueEdge Pro. If you see this, you're looking at the right window. This window always has to be on your screen somewhere. It's impossible to have the platform open without this window because this is the main control window. Now, I go to View and I go to Settings. Now it pops up this window. Inside this window, if I look closely, I can see a few things. I see on the left-hand side, we've got the settings. I'm going to go to Equities. And over here, it says Trailing Stop Orders. Right there. Now, first things first, I'm going to select this. Attach Auto Trailing Stop Order to every order. Up here it says Trailing Amount, and next it says Trailing Increment. The trailing amount is the default distance that the stop loss will be away from where your entry is triggered. Wherever your entry goes in, you're going to have a stop loss placed away from that. So if it's 5, that means that when you get into a trade, the stop loss is going to be placed $5 away from your entry. If I put 5.35, it's going to be $5.35, etc. So that's where the stop loss starts. Now, trailing increment means how far does the market has to move first before the stop loss gets trailed behind. So if I say $10, hypothetically, what this means is that my stop loss is going to be $5 behind the market, and until the market goes $10 in my favor, that stop loss will never move. Once it does move, it's going to move $10. So if I have an entry point at $100 to buy, that means my stop loss is going to be at $95. And when I go to $110 a share, the stop loss is going to move up $10 from where it was. So if it was at $95, it's going to move to $105. Okay. Now, I don't recommend you do that. You want the increment to be smaller than the amount. That's your best bet. So otherwise, it gets too complicated as it moves forwards. Basically, the stop loss will accelerate so fast that eventually you'll just get stopped out even though the market's still going. So what you want to do instead is make the increment equal or smaller. So if I put 5 and 5, that's simple to understand. The stop loss starts $5 behind. And once the market goes $5, exactly $5 in our favor, not less, not more. When it goes well, if it goes more, that's fine too. But as long as the stock goes $5 or maybe a little bit more in our favor, the stop is going to be moved up exactly $5 from where it was. So if it started at 95 bucks, it's going to go up to 100 from there. Okay? Now, that being said, if I set this to $1, what's going to happen is once the stock moves forwards $1, the stop loss is going to move up $1. So if I'm at 95 and I got a dollar there, it's going to move up $1 and it's going to go from 95 to 96. Okay? And if the stock goes another dollar up, so it goes from 101 to 102 in our illustration, then our stop loss is going to move from 96 to 97 and so on and so forth. So this just says how far the increment will be that needs to be moved first before the stop loss is moved. So as long as I have this selected and these two set, I'll get a stop loss automatically entered. If I uncheck this, all that's going to happen is on my level 2, when I go to the trailing stop, it's going to automatically have these queued up, and I just have to change it to what I want. Personally, I would strongly suggest going with the auto attach. It's a lot more effective, but it's up to you. One last note, this is not related to stop losses, but I would make sure that the price is set to market when you're looking at intraday activity, because you want your level 2 to be queued up to market order, so that way if you need to do something quickly, it's already ready for a market order. One other quick note, if you have this auto attach selected and you use sell market to get out of a buy or buy market to get out of a sell, in other words, if you're in a position and use either of these buttons to get out, it's going to add a stop loss after you do that. So in other words, as soon as you do that, it will exit your trade, but then a new stop loss will be entered for trailing. You'll have to cancel it. So the smart way to get out then is to use other features like cover the position, exit the position. Using one of those features rather than pushing the buttons will be more effective in that situation, because you won't add a stop loss after you were trying to get out of a trade. Just something to note. All right, so I hit OK, and now that changes my defaults. Notice I get this message. It says, are you sure you want to propagate the following changes? Market, etc., etc. I say yes, and then notice right there it changed to MKT. All right, now if you want to add a trailing stop from here, it's got to be inside of these settings, right? Notice that I don't have it there. Why not? Because I haven't chosen to have it included. I have to go to my selections here and choose what order types I want. Now this may seem weird to allow you to choose what order types you want, but this is a professional platform and not everybody wants to use the same order types. Now I have to figure out, where is that at? It's under, let's see, it's under destinations. There it is, sorry. It's under price types, excuse me. So under price types, you have a listing of the available price types. Now here's what I don't want. I don't need this. I'm not even going to go over what that is. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of everything I don't want. So I want something that allows me to choose last, bid, ask, market, peg. Okay, those are fine. Trailing stop, yes. CLO, don't really need that. So I mean, I guess I could use it, but I don't see why. So this is server stop. It's not sell stop. It's server stop, meaning the stop loss is housed on the server of the company, not placed on the exchange, which means it's not actually visible to other traders, only visible on our end, which is not communicated to the exchange. It's actually a better way of doing things. So you select these. Trailing stop can't be on the exchange anyway. No exchange actually supports a trailing stop. That is completely broker side. So these are the three I can use. Stop limit, which of course means that once the stop price is hit, I will only be executed if I can get out at the exact price or better. Regular stop, which is this one here, S stop, means that I get out as soon as the market hits my stop loss. I'm executed at market order at whatever the best available price is. And finally, trailing stop, of course, we know what that is. and we'll go over the settings in just a second. Over here, I'm just going to unselect everything except maybe those three. I need extend it because if you do any trades pre-market, you'll need that, and you'll need day, of course, to trade during the regular session. FOK, filler kills, probably not something you'll ever use in the challenge, but once you're funded live, that is something that can be useful. All right, now I hit OK. Okay, so I've added trailing stop to my list. So now if I go up here, I have trailing stop. I jump there, I hit trailing stop. Now, what is it going to do? It's going to add a trailing stop based upon the presets that I already have. Now, I could change it. I could change a trailing stop here if I want. I can enter a value. So let's say I put, what is this, Tesla? Let's say I put $6, okay? So what's basically going to happen if I add this trailing stop, and I'm going to put buy stop here, which will put it above the market. But anyway, actually, hold on for a second. Let me put, let me just put 6 here as well. Buy. Now notice what it's asking. Okay. What did I do? I put the amount here, which is the distance it's going to start at, and I put the increment here, which is the amount that the stock has to move. So now that I've done that, it's asking me, do you want to buy Tesla trailing stop $6, increment of $6 on the NASDAQ? I say yes, and there it is right there. Now this has not been filled because it's a buy stop at 196, 91.74 or something like that. Now I can't leave it like this because if I did, it's probably not going to execute because it has a sub penny. So I'll have to, might not be able to correct that here, but actually I don't think it matters on a trailing stop, so I'll leave it alone. It should still work on this, but nevertheless, this is showing me where my trailing stop will be at that price point. There is a setting in the platform, I just got to remember where it is to make it so to automatically eliminate sub-pennying. But that's basically it. So now I've added that stop. If I want to add another one, I can go back to trailing stop, and I can say, give me same thing. Well, let's do something different. $7 and $7, and I'm going to do a sell stop this time. Ask me, do I want that? I say okay, and now I've got that one there too. Now you can turn off the confirmation, by the way. I have it turned on for some reason, but you can turn that off in the messages. You can just go into the settings, and if you go to messages, you can turn off the confirmation right here. Once you and you could also do other things too, like if I want to be able to cover a position without getting confirmation, I click there, and that turns that off, right? And then I said okay. And after this point, anytime I do this, let's do it one more time. Let's this time do 8 by 8, and I hit sell. It's going to be a sell stop. Maybe that. Oh crap! No, sorry, I forgot to hit trailing stop. My bad. So, that actually is something that came up because I put an error. I entered the order by mistake. I left that message checked for that reason, just in case. So there it is, right? It's dropped instantly. So you can enter trailing stops from here. They're going to be pegged to wherever the market is at that time. That's why I say use the automated feature, because it's a lot more efficient. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here. I also have to run down the hall really quick. I'll be right back, and then I'll pick up from where we left off. You do not get the same window of after you check the settings. You go here, you went to equities, you did this. Did you add, Walter, let me ask you this. Did you add the the price type here. Walter, can you hear me? You are in this window here, correct? The main window. You hit View Settings, correct? You click on Price Types. What happens when you click Price Types? Unavailable. What is everything else showing or no? Like in other words, if you go to equities, are you seeing? Is anyone else having this issue? Is anyone else having this issue? Okay, Walter, contact the help desk then. I'm not sure what's wrong. Does it say why it's unavailable? Is there an actual explanation of why it's not available? No, that sounds like something else is wrong. So, all right, but yeah, that's the only thing you can do. All right, so that's pretty much it. Um, Questions about that? So that means something is. Are you able to trade off the platform at all? Are you able to do anything on the platform other than open it? Okay. So, like I said, that's I don't know what would cause that, but I would ask the help desk. I'm recording this right now. Okay, so I'm just looking through some things. I was trying to remember where there's one particular setting I was looking for. All right. All right, folks. I am going to save this recording and upload it to YouTube. All right.